Support WrestleTalk!
Click the thumbs up.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I am El Fakador Laurie Blake, and on this episode of what I'm calling All I Want for Christmas is News, Marty Scurll gets a new Ring of Honor stable, Vince McMahon returning to WWE TV, he was there all along, Austin, and WWE release a raft of superstars. I'll also be announcing the winner of the WrestleGate competition, so you should stick around for that. Now, you may be forgiven for thinking that WWE's TLC was the only thing of note to feature ladders and tables and, to a lesser degree, chairs, because they're quite boring this weekend. But Ring of Honor actually beat them to it, hosting their Final Battle pay-per-view, which featured the 7th ever ladder war, which sounds like a competition between Lad Bible and Unilad over Facebook subs. Who is ladder than who? Anyway, I'm quickly going to recap the Final Battle results because it's the news, so if you don't want to know, you're going to have to skip ahead. The show saw Jonathan Gresham and Zack Sabre Jr. wrap their limbs around each other in a pretty technical match, and saw Marty Scurll bring Christopher Daniels' Ring of Honor career to an end, as far as we know, kayfabe and all that. It also featured Jeff Cobb retain his TV title in an awesome match with Adam Page. Meanwhile, Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal took on Cody, who was dressed as Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain for some reason. Though not even the Fulton recovery system could save Cody from losing out to Lethal, who managed to retain. But not everyone had such a tight grip on their titles. Sumi Sakai lost the Women of Honor World Championship to Kelly Klein in a 4-way elimination jobby, and the Briscoes became 10-time tag champs in an insane match with SoCal Uncensored and the Young Bucks. With that said, the worst of the spoilers are now kind of over, so you can come out from your soundproofed spoiler bunkers and you can listen to this, because the brothers Jackson got in the ring after their match, got on the microphone with Cody, Marty and Page also in the ring to say what seemed like a final farewell to Ring of Honor. Matt said, "My brother and I started in his company over 10 years ago. This past 2-year run has been the greatest time of my life. I would have never become the person I've become. I would have never become the wrestler I've become without the support of you guys. Every guy in the back, my wife, Mrs. Matt, who's watching at home, our supportive families, everybody in this ring, all of you, we're all elite, right? The timer is ticking. Something is about to go down. I don't know what. I hope you watch our YouTube series Being the Elite. I'll tell you this though. New York City, we will be back, and we'll see you then." Sneaky little All Elite reference in there somewhere, wasn't there? The following night, the Bucks teamed with Hangman Page and Cody to take on Flip Gordon, Jay Lethal, and the Best Friends in an 8-man tag match, after which Cody tweeted out a heartfelt farewell to everyone at Ring of Honor. "Thank you to all the fans, thank you to a wonderfully talented locker room, thank you to an outstanding crew/production top to bottom. Thank you Joe Koff, Greg Gilliland, thank you Ring of Honor, I needed shelter from the storm and you gave me a home the past 2 years. Beautiful experience." Cody there, laying his true feelings out there for all to see. An emotionally naked snake. Time for a quick break now, but more on what Marty Scurll is doing after his mates have all left Ring of Honor next. So, with the rest of the Elite off to do, in the words of Matt Jackson, I don't know what, that leaves Marty Scurll as the sole survivor in Ring of Honor. Or is he? Because there was a big reveal at the Final Battle Fallout tapings on Saturday, which I am totally going to spoil, so spoilers stations people, in 3, 2, 1. During the show, the Kingdom confronted Scurll during his in-ring segment and ran him down because he's a Billy No-Mates now the rest of the Elite have left. Except it turns out that Marty is actually Billy's sunmate, because Brody King and PCO came out to brawl with the Kingdom. After they cleared house, Marty welcomed the two to his new stable, Villain Enterprises, which, despite the name, doesn't actually seem as evil as, say, Amazon. I guess it depends on who's shipping the new t-shirts though. Also in need of some new t-shirts is luchador extraordinaire Bandido, who, according to Lucha Blog, has just signed an exclusive deal with Ring of Honor. He could be in Villain Enterprises, he's got the whole outlaw mask thing going on as well. According to PW Insider, Bandido agreed on terms with Ring of Honor after quite rightfully being pursued by a whole slew of promotions, including WWE. Bandido will debut for the company in 2019, and in the meantime, Ring of Honor are reportedly after his tag partner Flamita too. Someone else that Ring of Honor are reportedly after, and may in fact have got is the really rather brilliant Mark Haskins. According to PW Insider, the word backstage at Final Battle was that Haskins has signed with Ring of Honor and will be joining the promotion soon. But Ring of Honor aren't the only ones on the hunt for new talent. In fact, they should be hiding some of their roster away, as WWE is reportedly on the prowl. Then one man who needs fortifying is Dalton Castle, who the Wrestling Observer newsletter are reporting that WWE are very interested in. It's said that Castle was offered a deal in 2017, but he chose to stay with Ring of Honor, where he became world champion before having to drop the belt and deal with a variety of injuries. Castle's flamboyant character no doubt makes him naturally very attractive to WWE, who surely see him as a bit of knockabout fun for TV, and they will use him terribly, and that will be fun. There's also no word on whether the boys will be joining him too, though I assume that they have very limited choice in the matter, because they're subs. Speaking of subs, WWEs have been dropping, as have their viewers. The pseudo segue. With last week's Raw being an all-time low, with just 2.194 million people watching. That's why WWE have drafted in the top dog to pretend like he's not part of the problem, he's the solution, as Vince McMahon will return to Raw tonight to shake things up. Everyone is gonna cross-dress. He's gonna puke, you're gonna puke, we're all gonna puke. Obviously not what's gonna happen, but one thing that may be announced is another draft, although PW Insider do say that no one has heard that that is definitely the plan. A talent draft would make sense though, as some of the angles during TLC certainly set up some cross-brand friction, which can only really be resolved with a bout of swapsies or wait until Survivor Series, and then maybe they could actually finally split up Balor and Corbin, so we never, ever, ever have to see that match ever again. We are about to hit another break, but first a very quick and important update regarding WrestleLeague with the TLC results finally taken into account. I am winning. I'm sitting pretty at 19 points, Ollie is at 17, and Luke has closed the gap at 16, but at this point, he will still be the one doing a punishment music video. Ooh, scary. We did one on Friday for fun, but ooh, punishment. We'll have to see how it all shakes out after the Royal Rumble. So, Vince is back on Raw tonight to shake up WWE, but it seems like it's already happened though, just not in a super awesome positive way, as you would imagine, as there have been a few releases that have come through over the weekend. Front and center is Nick Miller of NXT Tag Team The Mighty, whose release, at least according to the less tentacly keeper of secrets Dave Meltzer, was his decision. Meltzer said that Miller returned to Australia for the birth of his baby, but has reportedly decided to stay, though the door is said to remain open if Miller does fancy returning to the company in future. Tag partner Shane Thorne is still signed, though no word on what he'll be doing at all. Someone else who's revealed to have been released was Tai Shan Dong. If you don't know the name, that's because he never actually appeared on WWE TV. Tai Shan is a 7-foot-tall boxer from China who had signed a developmental deal with WWE this summer after trying out for the company in October 2017. Meltzer did say that Dong was actually released some time ago and asked to leave. And you got to consider that a lot of the Chinese stars WWE signed when they had ideas of expanding into China have been let go, so maybe that plan has just been moved to the back burner, probably so they could sort out the ratings in America. There are also rumours that NXT UK superstar Tucker has been released too, which initially I'm actually kind of relieved about because I misread this and thought it was Tucker Knight, the techie from NXT, and then I thought that Otis Dozovich would be sad, and that made me sad. Oh, techie. But it's not Tucker Knight, it's plain-flavoured Tucker, who the rumours are saying has been released as his profile has been removed from the WWE website, though his departure has not actually been confirmed, it's just speculated. Tucker participated in both WWE UK title tournaments, losing to Tyler Bate in the first round in 2017 and then to Joe Coffey in the first round of the 2018 tournament. Before we wrap up this episode of All I Want for Christmas is News, I have the honour and privilege of announcing the winner of our WrestleGate competition. The prize is 2 tickets to new promotion WrestleGate's debut show called Open Gate, many gates there, in Nottingham on the 26th of January 2019. And the winner is, drumroll please. I assume the editor's putting the drumroll in here. And the winner is Stephen Brandham, or Brandham if you will. Congratulations, Stephen. Expect an email from the bigwigs at WrestleGate soon telling you, I guess, how you're going to get into the event. For anyone else who likes the sound of an evening out in Nottingham to watch some graps, you can buy tickets to the show by following the link in the description below. WWE TLC is done and dusted and was actually a pretty darn good show. But if you want to find out what we thought of the show in a bit more depth, then click Luke's review, which is on screen now. And give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news. I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.